In what could be the final blow to the campaign, Biden insiders say the writing is on the wall. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video, and today we have to talk about the 2024 presidential election because it seems like we could be seeing the end of the Biden campaign. And I know, we've been hearing this for weeks that this could be the end of Biden. He should drop out, he might. Well, I really believe we're at a point now where there's a good chance he could actually drop out. And I really believe this because look at this headline. No one involved in the effort thinks he has a pathway. They're talking about Biden. This is not coming from random people that we don't know about. According to NBC News, which this could be fake news, I understand that. But according to them, these are some big people within the campaign. So let us get into it. Several of President Biden's closest allies, including 3 people who are directly involved in efforts to re-elect him, told NBC News they now see his chances of winning as 0, and the likelihood of him taking down fellow Democrat candidates growing. He needs to drop out. One Biden campaign official said, he will never recover from this. Right off the bat, this is a bombshell. Because this is 3 people apparently, which, like I said, I have to be clear that when it comes to anonymous sources, especially from a campaign like Biden's, there could be some fake news. I understand that. But this perfectly coincides with the fact that, Biden's fundraising, according to other sources, they're saying that his fundraising has been cut in half in just 1 month. His campaign fundraising numbers have been cut in half, and apparently it's getting worse each passing day. His numbers keep dropping like a rock. So we could be seeing it closer to a 60 to 70% drop in fundraising, and that was released yesterday. So I'm starting to wonder, okay, there's probably some legitimacy here because if we heard about this report just 24 hours ago, it would make sense for the campaign to realize now, oh crap, we're in deep shit. For 2 weeks, Biden has struggled to stabilize his campaign following a late June debate debacle. His ongoing cleanup effort, which is scheduled to include top aides meeting privately with Democratic senators at a presidential news conference Thursday, has done little to reassure lawmakers and party officials. Instead, the reverse is happening. Yeah, we know about this. This isn't just an anonymous source saying this. We know for a fact, after that interview on ABC, a lot of Democrats looked at that and said to themselves, we're out. He did not have a good performance. It was pathetic. He looked out of it. Was it better than the debate? Yeah, but is that really saying anything? Congratulations. Instead of getting an F minus, you got an F plus or a D minus. Like, congratulations. There's no difference. It's still shit. The set of Democrats who think he should reconsider his decision to stay in the race has grown to include aides, operatives, and officials tasked with guiding his campaign of victory. Yeah, that is not good at all. Because this isn't just some random staffer that's pissed off. Apparently, these are some big names within the campaign. We don't know who, obviously. These are anonymous sources, so you're never going to know. But it sounds like these are some pretty significant people. It's not like Jill Biden, obviously, but it's like a tier below Jill Biden and Hunter. It's a tier below them. That is not good. If these people are the ones that are trying to win you re-election, and they're saying that, we don't think he can win. You're done. You're not gonna win. Because even if you're the nominee, somehow you don't get kicked out. Alright? These people have lost all faith in you. And they probably think this is a joke. Why should we give a shit? We're gonna lose. And that's the biggest problem with all of this. If he somehow is the nominee, I'm starting to think he's not gonna be. But if he somehow holds on, his campaign is just so dead. These people are just done. They're like, we're not gonna win. So what's the point? Those who spoke to NBC News said the sentiment that he should exit and leave the Democratic nomination to someone else, most likely VP Kamala Harris, is widespread even within ranks of the campaign and the outside Democratic entity supporting it. No one involved in the effort thinks he has a path, said a second person working to elect him. Oof, that is just, that is awful. Because this is not one person, this is 2 now. And they're saying the same stuff. yeah, this campaign is done. We don't have a pathway. No one thinks he's going to win. Outside of like Joe Biden himself and Jill, which frankly, they're just out of touch with everything. Jill Biden's delusional. But either way, outside of the inner circle, like the Jill Bidens of the world, no one in the campaign in the White House actually believe he's gonna win, outside of the most delusional partisan hacks within the party. And even then, they're starting to realize, oh, wait a minute, we might have a problem here. A third person close to the re-election campaign said the president's situation, the questions swirling around Biden's cognitive abilities, the dearth of fundraising, and more polls showing Biden dropping in support and other candidates faring better, is unsustainable. This person also said they didn't see how the campaign could win. That's 3 people in one article admitting there's no pathway here. If this was just one person, fine. That's just a one-off. That's someone that's pissed off for whatever reason. When you have 2 people saying the same stuff, okay, maybe it's just a fluke. When you have 3 people saying virtually the same stuff, word for word, that's a sign of a campaign that's falling apart. This is not just, one person being mad. This is clear that this is a bigger problem. That within the Biden campaign itself, there's no faith here. They're losing confidence that Biden can even win. And frankly, I agree with them. I really don't see how he can win. But 2 others close to Biden told NBC News that while they haven't given up all hope of a turnaround, they see that as an increasingly unlikely outcome. So that's 5 people. 3 of them saying they're done. There's no way we can win. It's over. But now you have 2 of them, 2 other ones, that think, yeah, a turnaround is possible. However, it's becoming unlikely. In fact, it's probably not going to happen. That's 5 people in one article saying the same stuff. Just 2 of them are a bit more hopeful, but they're starting to realize, crap, it's over. And they believe the goal of defeating Trump in November should take precedence over backing Biden. Oh my goodness. These people are not loyal. They're done. They're gonna work for whoever the nominee is, but this campaign's done. The question for me and a lot of us is, who is the best person to beat Donald Trump? Another person working to elect Biden said, there are a lot of us that are true blue that are questioning our initial thoughts on that. So that's a 6th person. That's 6 people in one article saying, yeah, this campaign's done. And we want to beat Trump, but we don't think Biden can. And of course, a spokesperson said, this is false. This team stands with the president. Yeah, sure. You have 6 people going to NBC News and admitting they're losing faith in this campaign or outright saying it's over. We're not going to win. 6 people. And it sounds like these are some big names within the campaign. I know they're trying to spin it, but how do you spin this? There's no way you can. Because you're losing confidence within your own campaign. And a lot of people are going to look at this and say, it's over. It's just going to keep growing. It's going to get out of control. It's like a wildfire. It's one tiny spark, and 5 minutes later, it's just the entire forest burnt down. That's what's happening. And these 6 staffers, they're done. Or they're getting very close to that point. This is just not good. Ultimately, the decision rests with Biden on whether he stays in, and the president has been insistent this week that he's not going anywhere. Of course, you gotta include Jill Biden and others, but yeah, it's up to Joe. And it sounds like he's not leaving. I just find it funny, though. His entire campaign is realizing it's over, except for, like, Jill Biden, Hunter, and, like, 2 other people. It seems like everyone else is realizing, yeah, the orange man is probably gonna win. This campaign is done. But those sources say that Biden is done, whether he drops out before November or loses to Trump on election day. Gosh, the more you read into this, the more you realize this is a big problem. Because if this was a campaign that, had a hiccup here, but it was recovering, it was stable, they wouldn't have this problem of a bunch of people thinking it's over. There's no pathway here. I mean, we're in July. Hell, John McCain's campaign, as late as September, thought they had a pathway in 2008. We're in July and these people think it's over. There's no pathway here. We're done. At this point in time, it's only going to get worse from here on out. There's no way it gets better because we're in July. We're 4 months out. And if they're already giving up, what's going to happen when the Trump campaign is in full gear? It's actually spending millions of dollars on ads, getting a ground game going. What's going to happen then? Hours after NBC News asked Biden aides about that conclusion, campaign chair Jen O'Malley Dillon and campaign manager Julie Chavez Rodriguez sent a memo to staff Thursday outlining why they believe the president can still win, which I think confirms that this article's real. Why would they send out a memo the same day as this article drops if this was complete horseshit? Why? Because guess what? It isn't BS. It's true. This is what's happening. They don't want to admit it, but it's happening. They really believe, they actually realize they have a problem. Our internal data and public polling show the same things. This remains a margin of error race in key battleground states, they wrote. Which, okay, yeah, in some polls they are. But outside of a couple, there are states like Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada where you're pulling outside the margin of error. Trump's lead is, at least. And even states like Wisconsin, they have a history of understating Trump by 5 points. The fact that he's winning Wisconsin up in Michigan, that is not good. And I know they gotta say something, but using public polling when you're down everywhere and just saying, well, we're within the margin of error, which, by the way, is not true in many states, but even with that in mind, you're talking about Wisconsin. The same state that back in 2020, Trump was supposed to lose by like 5 points. He lost by half a point. The movement we have seen, while real, is not a sea change in the state of the race. While some of this movement was driven from undecided voters to Trump, much of the movement was driven by historically Democratic constituencies moving to undecided. That's their talking point. Really? So, yeah, there was a movement towards Trump, but we're going to win still. We have a pathway. Well, that's such a reassuring talking point. I mean, just think about it. They're admitting the undecided voters are all breaking for Trump now, and now historically Democratic constituencies are undecided. Congratulations. What a great talking point. How can people look at this and just say to themselves, yep, there's nothing wrong here? They're admitting black voters, Hispanics, Asians, etc. They may not be voting for Trump, but right now they're not supporting Biden. So while Trump has unified his base and has gained a bunch of undecideds, Biden can't even gain undecideds because guess what? His party is fractured. Talk about a disaster. He's not only losing undecideds, but now a bunch of his own voters are now undecided. Yeah, the majority of them will break for Biden, but that still means a chunk of them will probably vote for Trump. You can't recover from that. The fact that they say this is a good talking point is crazy to me, but they really believe this. It sounds like they actually believe that no, this is a good sign actually. And I think a lot of staffers are realizing, oh my God, we are so screwed if this is what we got. But either way, we just gotta see what happens. I'm starting to think that his campaign's done. I think he's gonna drop out. But all I can really say is good news for Trump. He's in a very good situation. His campaign is getting good fundraising. He's up in the polling. And now his opponent might drop out next week. And I know people are going to say, well, you know, Harris will be a stronger candidate. He won't. Or she won't, I should say. But even if she somehow is, you're talking about an ahistorical thing happening where you replace the president halfway through the election year with the VP. If that's not going to happen, and if it could happen, but if it did in fact happen, the party would be cut in half because a good chunk of Democrats still want Biden. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.